MMR.
Thanks, Kath. Real quick before we do anything, a couple of shout-outs I want to do. Let's see. This one, what's today's date? 19th? Yeah, this is for yesterday. Hey, says, I'd like to ask for a birthday shout-out as a gift from myself every year now. So my 34th birthday is February 18th. But anytime in February would be great. Last time I got my shout-out read in March, which made it more special to me. And what was more special to me was being able to meet the whole Preston and Steve crew and the wonderful interns, Ben, Grace, and Sean back in August. I already expressed my gratitude in the letter I sent, but thank you again for allowing me to sit in the program and have the opportunity to gift you guys books and bake and cook for all of you. It was great to hear Kathy's approval of my kitchen because she brought in pictures.
She has to make sure it was sanitary.
So thank you for everything you do around the surrounding communities. You make you all make me feel hopeful. Love you, Connie Benkowski. She said, by the way, you're one of the few people to pronounce my name right the last time you read it.
I hope you did it again.
Yeah. All right, so happy birthday to you. There's your chart. Then there was one. It says, hey, Preston, I was hoping you can give send a shout out to my son, Steve. He has a special anniversary on the 19th. Steve's a loyal listener now living in Georgia. A prouder father I couldn't be. Thank you in advance for your consideration. That is from Jeff Bancroft. So here's a shout out to your son. And then this one says, hey, Gadzooks, I've never been one to be on the top of the hip things in life. So I put off watching Cobra Kai. And I've spent the last couple of years listening to you and the rest of the show go on and on about it. And I finally decided to start watching it. One episode in and I am hooked. Damn you, Preston. And I don't know why I waited so long, nor do I know why I felt compelled to email you about it. But alas, I did. Thank you for having about this show, talking about this show for so long. Your longtime loyal listener, Brent, and all my friends call me Boats. It is from Mike Hazelton. He said, I think you deserve a shout out for this. So he wants to give me a shout out.
You got your own shout out.
Wanted to mention that real quick. And breaking news, the YouTube stream is now running.
Yeah.
We've had issues with the YouTube stream. Marissa wants to thank the engineers and Neumann Media, our official partner of the Preston and Steve YouTube live stream. So that is now up and running. You can tune in and watch to your heart's content, my friend.
There was a nice little group of YouTubers out at the parade.
Yeah.
Right in front of us.
And a lot of people watching on YouTube that couldn't make it on Friday, Steve. It was really cool to see how many people tuned in via YouTube on Friday because we were at the parade.
Yep. All right. There are some things on my mind.
My mind is a raging torrent. Yeah. Flooded with rivulets of thought, cascading into a waterfall of creative alternatives.
The stream of consciousness, nerd.
Yes. And I'm going to stream right into a YouTube story, which is apropos since we were just talking about our YouTube stream. And if your algorithm feels like it's kind of stuck and you're getting the same stuff over and over again, there is a way that you can take control of your algorithm. And I read about this over the weekend. And all you have to do is delete everything from your YouTube history.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah. But there's a few steps you have to take to get there. You'd think it would be easy to do that.
Right.
But I saw this article. To get started, you have to head to myactivity.google.com. And from there, you can delete everything that you've done on Google products. Things that you've searched for, websites you visited in Chrome, the places that you went to on devices with Google Maps installed, and all of the YouTube videos that you've watched.
So let's say you've been looking for undetectable ways to kill someone.
Right. This is a good way to get rid of that.
Yeah.
So you can filter down and see your YouTube videos by clicking YouTube history and then clicking manager history. And from here, you can manually delete any videos that you'd rather not have influencing your YouTube algorithm.
My YouTube algorithm is pretty good right now. It's giving me a lot of good stuff. I'm watching a lot of drum videos, Preston.
Are you? How did that start?
I downloaded. I subscribed to Drumeo to watch the Phil Collins.
Oh yeah,
and then I did the Kenny Aronoff.
Aronoff, yeah.
He broke down Jack and Diane.
Yeah,
and I'm like, and so now I'm hooked on that. So
yep.
I'm being besieged, but it's okay.
Anything you delete will stop affecting your YouTube algorithm. There's even a search tool, meaning that you can filter down to only videos that mention particular topics. And this is great if you want to be surgical about the topics that you don't want to see anymore. You just search for something and delete the videos you're no longer interested in. Now, you can also delete absolutely everything, thus completely resetting your YouTube algorithm. To do this, you click the delete button and then click delete all time.
See,
you'll be asked to confirm after that, after which all of your YouTube watch history will be deleted. You head back to YouTube and there will be no videos on the homepage. Like nothing will be suggested
blank.
For you at all.
And then you start anew.
Yep, and then you have to start.
That means I would lose my wingsuit and Baby Otter videos.
You'd have to search those out first, or your subscriptions will continue to generate.
I really don't. I mean, I do go to YouTube, but it is not a website that I park myself on where I end up just scrolling.
I thought I never would be, and I do. But I have a lot of. There's like I subscribe. I go down YouTube holes, and I end up, it's usually on my television that I'm doing that.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, I still go after YouTube case. I can't bring myself. The moment that I notice on Instagram, I don't even. I have TikTok, but I never go on it. The moment that I start going. Scroll, and if I'm doing that for like 5 minutes, I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah,
I stop.
You don't do that on YouTube. You sit down and you watch the content.
Yeah, you find
and
things.
so I find that that's more enjoyable for me.
Do you guys have the YouTube app on your TVs at home?
Yes.
Okay, I use it all the time, and I subscribe to so many channels, and I watch more and more stuff. I can't even think of like anything that I watch live anymore. Like it's either on a streaming app or on YouTube.
The last thing I sat down and made a concerted effort to watch live in real time was the SNL 50th.
Yeah, okay, that's it for me. And then sports, of course.
Yeah.
But beyond that, it's almost exclusively app or YouTube.
I still, Steve and I were talking the other day, I still surf movies because a lot of times I'm like, I want to watch something. What time is it? I'm not committed to 2 hours to watch a whole thing right now. But if I find something that I know and I've watched it before, I'll jump in and catch it for a little bit while I have a few minutes, and then I'll move on to whatever it is I need to do.
House of Sand and Fog.
Yeah.
That's on cable?
On cable.
Okay, yeah. I don't have cable.
When I go on YouTube, it's a lot of times to sit down and watch stuff. It's later in the evening when I'm getting ready for bed, and I'll just be like, all right, what's 15 minutes long?
Yeah.
Or I'm not going to dive into something big and chunky.
That's why the algorithm does favor that length, 15 to 20 minutes.
Yep. So if you would prefer that your YouTube homepage stay blank, it's possible. You just have to head back to myactivity.com. myactivity.google.com, and from there you can turn off all YouTube history, and you will stop tracking which videos you've watched going forward, and YouTube's homepage will remain blank all the time, so long as you're logged into your Google account.
Well,
so that's pretty stark if you want to do that.
It sure is. Yeah. Why are you erasing yourself? But it's pretty amazing how quickly you can sway your algorithm on TikTok, for example.
Yeah.
You watch one video pertaining to something with any sort of specificity, and you're going to be besieged by that topic.
Have you ever accidentally gone on to something and you're like, oh no,
yes,
I didn't mean to do that, and now you're going to get spoon-fed that for a while. Yeah. Let me a second. Let me go to this real quick. I have Barry who has a question. Hi, Barry. You're on the air, buddy.
Hi, Grandma.
Hi, Grandma.
What's up, man?
Hey, so I watch a ton of YouTube. It's pretty much all I have at home. Do you guys notice that when the ads come on, the volume is 30% higher? It blows your speakers out.
Yo, ever heard of Jerkmate?
Yeah, no, they do that. That's why a couple of years ago I just went with the premium. I just pay for the commercial free because you're exactly right. And a lot of times if you go, Barry, from video to video, there's not as much of a control over the uniformity of the volume, and your ears will get blown out on certain channels. But yeah, I have noticed that.
I know a couple of years ago, the FCC came out with something regarding the volume of ads on TV, but it doesn't pertain to YouTube.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. How much is that subscription, by the way?
It's probably about $250,000. It's probably like the other
YouTube TV?
Yeah.
It's been jacked up 6 times in the last 3 years.
Jesus.
And initially, it was really affordable. It was actually one of the most affordable, best apps for streaming anything or for being sort of a pseudo cable service. And it's become just as expensive, really, as any other cable streaming service at this point.
I'm not subscribed to YouTube TV. I just on the premium tier of YouTube. So you pay to not get the ads.
Okay.
Yeah. So and then YouTube TV is another charge. Nick, are you on you? You said
No.
you okay.
No, because it's become too expensive for me. Right, and I was actually having the conversation with my dad over the weekend. Like he's tired of paying the cable bills, and I get it. Right now, there are so many average to below average options. You got to choose the best of those options, and whatever suits you the best. And they're all relatively expensive. They're all pretty much what cable costs were 5 to 6 years ago. And like it's what's consistent for you and really how you like watching television. I've gotten to the point now where for the most part live TV doesn't matter that much to me anymore, so I'm fine with the streaming services and paying for those apps, but whatever suits you best, that's and like if you have, for example, like Xfinity or Comcast, you might like the bundle, if you're going to get the cable and the internet service and maybe even the phone on top of it. Right. It really just depends on what your needs are.
It's kind of odd. I pay for a snuff film channel out of Ecuador, and they include 6 ABC.
Oh, that's weird.
Which is so weird.
Okay.
So if you want to delete your YouTube history, you can do it and reset your algorithm, but you have to go to myactivity.google.com, and that's where you do that. All right. There's another thing.
The stream of consciousness nerd.
Nick sent me this. This is quite interesting. Legoland Discovery Center, Philadelphia, that's the one in Plymouth Meeting, is searching for their next master model builder and wants to pay someone to play with Lego bricks.
Okay.
It's the dream job of a lifetime, and their office will be in the heart of the ultimate indoor Lego playground in Plymouth Meeting. So top applicants will be invited to compete in their Brick Factor 2025, which is a live competition. It's coming up on March 22nd, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. inside the attraction. And participants will execute timed builds, freestyle builds, assigned builds, and multiple interviews, all while interacting and engaging with kids.
So I know far more adults that are into Lego and Lego building, and it's you guys have all said you enjoy it, right?
It's fun.
So it's a puzzle, but of course the end result could be. I've said that I'm thinking of getting the Titanic one because it looks like it'd be pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So that Will Ferrell show, that competition, is that still on, the Lego Master of Lego or whatever that is?
Oh, it wasn't Will Ferrell. It was.
Will
Arnett.
Arnett.
Yeah. I don't know if it's still on or not. It's like a Zen thing to do. It takes your mind off of everything else that's going on, and you can just disconnect for a little bit and focus on what's in front of you.
Yeah. Yep. We do a lot of Legos at our house still. I have adult children, and we still build Legos together.
Something to be said for that.
I always see them at Costco. They always have these special editions, and I look at them. I'm like, that looks like that could be fun, but no. I've never gotten into Lego, and I'm definitely not a freeform Lego guy.
I'm not a freeform guy. Forget it. I have zero creativity. I can make you a set of stairs.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I'm really good at a colorful wall.
I could do like a pseudo-looking front of a castle thing, and that's about it. But the ones, Casey, though, the kits that you get, I mean, they're very detailed directions.
I've
and
done those.
It's fun watching it come together. You know?
Watching someone else put it together.
No, I mean, I like doing it. But so how do you, from this press release, Nick, I didn't quite see exactly how you get signed up for it. So you have to reach out to Legoland Discovery Center, Philadelphia, and Plymouth Meeting.
So the old master passed away or moved on? Or
Yeah, I don't know, Steve. Or they're expanding. I'm not really sure. But it's their next master model builder. And it's going to be Saturday, March 22nd, 10 to 3.
We need to know master.
In Plymouth Meeting. So look into that if that's your thing.
Yeah, it's called Merlin Careers, like Merlin, like the wizard. So Google search Merlin and then Lego and Discovery Center, Philadelphia.
Do you have the ability? Will you be our master? Always within walking distance of Popeyes.
Apparently, there are several steps you have to take to master that.
It's on the second floor.
Yeah. All right, here's another thing. Do I need a new segment called And Another Thing?
You do.
The second another thing that you've
I know.
done.
This is a sub-segment of the stream of consciousness there.
Well, eventually we'll come up with a good sound effect and piece of music to do
Marissa
And Another
found-
Thing.
Yeah, we had something.
Yeah.
Really?
We do.
Yeah. So this was from Ice Cube.
Oh, yeah, and another thing.
Yeah.
I didn't even know we did that. All right, as soon as we come up with some good music for that,
All right.
then we'll make it an official Another Thing.
And we're just calling it another thing. You're not the and another thinger.
No, it's just And Another Thing.
Okay.
So I thought this would be nice. We're in the middle of this horrible cold weather. It's not a vortex, but whatever this
It's a subtext.
thing that's going on across the country. I thought it might be nice to talk about beaches for a moment.
Yes.
Okay.
Just to get us in another frame of mind. TripAdvisor's Traveler Choice Awards for the best beaches of 2025 have now come out. So they are chosen based on the quality and quantity of reviews and ratings for the beaches from real travelers who have been there. And this year's list includes beaches on 6 continents and in 50 countries. So they've broken it down to the top 10 beaches in the world and the top 10 beaches in the U.S.
Okay.
So we'll start in the U.S. because I think that
Those are the ones we're more likely to go to.
we'll feel a little more connected. And there's some that we I know there's one in particular that we have all been to before. But number 1 on this list, the top beach in the United States is Siesta Beach in Siesta Key, Florida.
I keep hearing about this place.
Yeah.
It's not too far from where we go in Clearwater, is it, Nick?
I don't think so. No.
No,
Yeah.
it's not too far. It's a little bit of a drive. My friend lives there and was like, "You have to come vacation. You have. This is where you have to go next time you go."
So, is there surf there, or is it a more?
It's like I think there's like almost. I think they call it like the circle or something like that. So it's like a little town where there's bars and restaurants. It's, obviously
Yeah.
beach and all of that. But yeah, she said they love going there. So she doesn't live inside Siesta Key. She lives just outside.
Okay.
It's south of St. Pete.
Yeah, it's right near Sarasota.
All right. Hang on.
Former clown college.
You know what? I might
have been there.
I'm going on a golf trip down that way in the spring. I think we might be right down there by Siesta Key. That would be cool.
I think I've been there.
Okay.
Yeah, this looks very familiar. The video we're looking at.
Nice.
And it was a lovely beach. It definitely had you want to get there around evening time.
So it's
Sunsetting.
considered the number 1 beach in America.
It's very nice. I'm not seeing anything that ultra blows me away about it.
Number 2 on this list I've been to. It's Poipu Beach in Beach Park in Hawaii. It's on Kauai.
I almost feel like Hawaii beaches should have their own category.
Yeah.
Probably,
Yeah.
man.
You pick the best beach in Hawaii.
The ones the most beautiful beaches I've ever been to have all been in Hawaii. This being one of them. We took surf lessons there. It was a lot of fun. And then they have kind of Apali Beach. That's in Maui. I've been there before. And that's cool. It's a lot. There are resorts there,
Yes,
so
yeah.
it's one of those type of beaches. So that's really pretty. La Jolla Cove in La Jolla, California, is number 4.
Kakapipi poo poo.
Nope, not that I know of. Waikiki Beach, Oahu, been there before.
Yes.
That's number 5 on the list.
Which when I was there, I felt.
It's packed.
But I felt like weird that there was this beautiful beach in front of you and then like a city behind
The city
you.
right
yeah,
behind you.
yeah.
But it's a cool city.
It's cool.
And then you look over, you see Diamond Head.
Diamond Head is right,
Yeah.
right there. It looks so awesome. And then listen to this. Number 6 on the list, Clearwater Beach in Clearwater, Florida.
Wow.
Well, shut the front door.
Is that the same beach that our hotel is on?
No, we're on Sand Key. So we are just south of Clearwater Beach. I mean, it's walking distance, but
It's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Preston.
I actually don't.
Clearwater's come around, man.
Yeah, I don't like the beach though.
You don't?
It's too shelly.
It's too shelly?
Yeah, it's not sandy enough. There's a lot of like
wide.
broken. I don't mind the wide part. It's the broken shells I don't like walking on.
They cut your
Okay.
tootsies? They hurt your tootsies.
Yeah.
I've never walked, when we've been there, I've never walked all the way down to the water.
You
I've
haven't?
walked down to Kathy sitting on a lounge chair.
Yeah, no, you get you hop on a
Remember
golf
that?
cart.
Yes.
That's as far as I've made it, Kathy.
Which was basically just like a step away from the pool,
From the pool,
on the
yeah.
sand.
Looked nice to me.
I walked the length of it. I walked all the way almost to like Indian Rocks Beach, just because of how pretty I find it to be. I really enjoy it. The water's nice. By the way, people who are asking, we are back in Clearwater this year. I know it's like not officially official or whatever, but we're flying on the 12th, broadcasting from the ballpark on the 13th. And then we'll be at Coco's in Clearwater Beach on March 14th, the Friday.
Cows.
Yeah,
Man.
less than a month.
Oh, my God.
How about that?
I didn't even think. I was thinking about the things that we have coming up after, the parade and all the stuff we had and BirdBot and everything that we've been working on.
I haven't done
I
enough.
was like, okay, we have Cardboard Classic and then we have a nice break for a while.
Yeah, a nice couple
No,
weeks.
we don't.
Yeah.
We don't.
Well,
I mean,
that's
these are
a nice break.
These are good things.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of work involved.
Clearwater's work, but it's my favorite work of the year. I love that broadcast so much, and the being at the ballpark and just quite honestly getting out of Pennsylvania that time of year is such a relief and such something to look forward to. So Thursday the 13th we're at the ballpark, and then Friday the 14th at the Clearwater Beach.
Nick, when you walked from Sand Key down to Indian Rocks, how long did that take?
A few hours.
Okay.
But we're lucky enough to stay in a beautiful place, and it's a really nice long walk. I enjoyed it a lot.
Okay. The top 10 beaches in the U.S. Number 7 on this list is Driftwood Beach in Jekyll Island, Georgia.
Jekyll Island?
Never been there.
No.
Number 8 is Puna'alu'u Black Sand Beach
Here we go again.
in Pahala, Hawaii. I'm not sure which island that's on.
Is that Maui?
I don't know,
Might be.
Steve.
It's the famous, the volcanic ash beach is.
Oh, the sand, the black sand is usually on Kauai. From
Maybe it's
what I was-
Kauai,
or it
yeah.
might be the Big Island, might be on Hawaii. Nick, it's spelled Punalu.
The rest.
No,
It's on Oahu.
apostrophe U. It's on Oahu.
It's on Oahu.
Oh wow. Okay. Then you have number 9 is Bahia Honda State Park in Big Pine Key, Florida.
Oh yeah, that's cool. You can see manatees there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's sort of in between like Marathon and Key West. So if you're driving the length of the Keys, which is a fun drive, more than probably about 2/3 of the way from Miami to Key West.
Beautiful. And there are a lot of underwater, there are a lot of super crystal clear lagoons and things in that area.
I love that.
My wife has gone swimming with the manatee. You cannot touch
Right.
the manatee. However, legally, they can have sex with you.
Oh. Wow.
You have to allow them to. But you can't touch them.
Oh, the huge manatees.
Yes.
Wait, I was mistaken. That beach in Hawaii is on the Big Island, and Steve, it is one with the black sand.
It's on the Big
Okay.
Island. Okay.
All right.
And then the last one is Ho'okipa Beach Park in Maui, Hawaii. So yeah,
It's
so
all
you're right,
Hawaii.
Case. It needs to be.
Have your own category, and that's fine. You guys win.
Yeah.
Now eat me.
Yeah.
The top in the world, and I'll go through these quickly because I doubt we've been to any of these. Elafanisi Beach in Crete, Greece. Banana Beach in Phuket, Thailand, which is where the White Lotus is being shot in Thailand, or this is being set, has been set in this last episode. Good Lord. Season.
This season.
Eagle Beach in Aruba, Siesta Beach, as I mentioned, is number 1 in the U.S., is number 4 on the world list, and then number 5 is in Portugal.
I'll tell you one of the
Playa de Falizia.
the most beautiful beaches I've ever been to, and is usually in the top 10 of beaches around the world, is Elbow Beach in Bermuda, where I kid you not, the sand on that beach is like flour that you cook with. It is that. If you're not into the shelliness, this is unshellied.
Well, let me go to Danny because he wanted to point something out like that. Hi, Danny. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, it.
Good morning to see you. Danny, what's going on, brother?
I'm doing all right, sir. Casey,
Yes.
specifically, you had some concerns about the shells on the beach. Siesta Key, bud. I tell you, when you walk on that beach, it could be 95 degrees outside. It's like walking on cold talcum powder.
Wow.
Amazing. I lived in Sarasota for 6 years growing up as a kid. The best beach you could ever want to go to in your life.
Is that sand or just bales of cocaine that have split apart on them?
You know, I always wondered if it kind of washed up from Cuba, but it makes the day perfect.
All right.
Okay.
I'm so happy.
So super soft sand.
It's like cold talcum powder. It's nothing like burning your feet at the Jersey Shore. That's for dang sure.
All right, cool. Thanks, man. Appreciate
dude,
it, bud.
There was one beach we were in Florida. It might have been Flagler Beach, where it was so goddamn hot. The sand was unbelievably. I was to the verge of crying.
You know what I think of every time I hear the words Flagler Beach?
Me seeing my grandmother's knockers, because that's where she lives.
Oh.
And I relive that every time.
Well, I was going to share a story about hot sand, not your grandmother's knockers. I
have a picture of you.
We were on the North Shore of Oahu, and the beach was just so hot. It was ridiculous. And we had found a spot in the shade amongst the trees, and we had walked all the way down to the water, and the whole way you're there like, oh my God, oh God. And you're running, and then you get to the water, and then there's coral.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, I can't stand on that. It was horrible. So we eventually made our way to the shade, and we saw this couple come walking up. And there was plenty of people on the beach and everything. Saw this couple come walking up. He didn't have sandals on.
Man.
And I told him, I go, hey, just to let you know, the sand is really, really, really hot. And it's a long walk to the water. Just want to give you a heads up. Like, oh, okay.
Thank you.
And they kept going. And I'm like, Shell, let's watch this. Let's take this in. And sure enough, dude, by the time they got like 20 yards from the water, they were sprinting.
At one point,
sprinting.
did they look like Aunt Beru outside the...
Yeah, just fried, completely burnt to a crisp. But it's kind of funny when you've given fair warning.
I warned you.
And watch someone else do
There's
it.
only so much you can do.
Hang on a second here. Kirsten wants to comment on Jekyll Beach. That was in Georgia, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Hi, Kirsten. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Tornado.
Tornado.
What's happening, Kirsten?
So I actually, I'm surprised Jupiter, Florida wasn't on that list of beaches because it's one of the most beautiful. However, on our way to our wedding, we stopped at Jekyll Island. And when I tell you this place is otherworldly, there's nothing I've ever seen like it. So it's miles and miles, as far as you can see, of these dead trees almost that are like growing out of the sand and that come up ashore, but it just looks like you're on another planet.
So it looks like another, but would you call it beautiful, the dead trees?
Yeah, like
really?
if you actually Google it, it'll kind of give you an idea, but we actually went for sunrise. And it was probably the most beautiful sunrise I've ever seen.
Yeah, we're looking at a video of this, and it looks like just tons of driftwood that is, like large pieces
are
of
actually
driftwood.
like massive. When I'm saying like you can climb up them,
Wow.
I mean the pictures are.
It seems like the perfect place to go get impaled.
Yeah.
I don't know about swimming necessarily. I'm sure you could.
Yeah,
that's
They
really
do have,
cool.
like trails, but the island itself is very interesting. You actually drive over some bays, and then as you get in, you can rent golf carts to kind of go to and fro, whether it's like your own villa or hotel.
Kirsten, can I ask?
Very, very
Did
small.
they let you know how? I mean, because these are sizable, full trees that are on the beach. How do they get there? I mean, because are they going? Do they grow out of the sand that way? Are they?
So I have no idea if they're just washing ashore. I think they're growing out of the sand because there was not really a park ranger or anybody that I could speak to because you really kind of just explore yourself around the area.
Okay. It does seem that they're growing out. I guess the salt water petrifies them.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's actually I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's not like another planet.
That's pretty. It does look otherworldly. That's pretty amazing. Yeah.
Really neat. But they have like restaurants and bars and shopping kind of within the town area.
Okay.
And you can it's a great area for families too. I know they have some regular patches without the trees.
Yeah, without the dead trees.
Yeah, but I think that you really just go for the experience of what it's like. I've never seen anything like it.
Wow, nice. All right, thank you, Kirsten. We appreciate
no problem.
Yeah, this video looks really interesting. Let me go to another call, and we'll move on to something else. I have Sean. Hi, Sean. Morning, bud.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, I'm just concerned. I don't think your list is accurate because I'm pretty sure that Sea Isle City Beach is the best one on the planet ever.
Sea Isle City is the best one on the planet ever. Your favorite beach?
I mean, I've been to Ocean City, Maryland. I've been to Ocean City, New Jersey, and then Sea Isle City, the best.
All right.
So those are the only 3 beaches you've been to?
As a kid, I went to one down in Florida when we went to Disney, but I don't remember the name of the beach, and that was all shelly and sandy, and
See too many shells?
Yeah, so, I mean, he's had experiences. I think we can trust him.
He's been from New Jersey to one part of Florida.
It's nice, Sean. It's nice, but there are some that are just unbelievable.
What, you going to say Hawaii beaches
thanks, Sean.
are better than Sea Isle?
Yeah, man. I've been very fortunate and have had the opportunity to travel to Hawaii on a few occasions. And the last time we were there, Rochelle was asking around to locals about good places to go to, and they steered us right. They steered us to empty, beautiful, secluded, stunningly beautiful beaches.
Did Sea Isle City come up?
Off the beaten path. They mentioned Sea Isle City, but it was too far of a drive for us.
Listen, bro, I'm going to tell you, I know you think you're here in paradise, but if you've never been to Sea Isle City, oh, man.
Yeah, we couldn't do it.
I got to tell you.
Couldn't make it happen.
And then the Wildwood Crest, man.
All right, one more thing from Stream of Consciousness Nerve, if that's okay.
Yes.
All right, one more thing.
The Stream of Consciousness Nerve.
We're going to continue traveling a little bit.
Featuring and another thing.
I forgot that's what we're doing in another thing. All right, so datingadvice.com talked to 3,000 single travelers about their own personal experiences, and they came up with the list of the best airports for finding love in.
The best airports for finding love. If that's what your life has come to, but yeah, lay it on us. What are the best airports?
Wasn't there a rom-com based on this, like within the last year or two?
Yes, with Meg Ryan.
And David Duchovny, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So the question asks, how do you actually meet someone special at the airport? And the survey finds the best chances by getting seated next to them on the plane. But if you're not that lucky, having your flight delayed and bonding over shared frustration.
Would you like some of my ribs?
Is second best way to meet. I had a friend of mine who met a long-term girlfriend.
Really?
They were together for years, and they had met on the same thing. They had seated next to each other on a plane, and they hit it off. I thought that was kind of cool.
That is pretty nice.
Yeah.
That's how Charlie Day and Rob McElhenney met, was
You're right.
sitting on a plane next to one another. We wouldn't have It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia if not for a plane.
Yeah.
I had a friend who, and they're not together anymore, but he dated this girl for a long time. We met them in traffic when we were headed up to a Fish concert. We got up to, it was in upstate Maine, and we eventually get to a point where you're just going to be crawling in traffic for about 12 hours, and the people that were behind us ended up,
You started talking with him.
started talking to him.
We should take a flight.
Yeah, and then the guy that I was with and the girl that was in that group, they ended up like hooking up all weekend, and then saw each other, and I think they dated for like a year or two.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So, by the way, they mentioned that the ultimate airport icebreaker is to suggest the travelers suggest asking to borrow a phone charger from someone. That's how you kind of get the conversation started.
May I borrow a tampon? What?
Huh?
I like to make little figures out of them. What?
It's a hobby of mine.
Yeah, I make soldiers.
Oh, I have a hobby too.
If you have a Kotex, I use that as a shield.
Kathy, when you are traveling and it is not that time of the month for you, do you still bring stuff with you?
No, why would I?
All right, so Steve, this is good.
Yeah.
This is a good way to find out whether or not said lady
Someone's on the rag. Yeah. Excuse me. Are you on the rag? I know whether to proceed or not.
I hate to ask this, but are you on the rag?
Do you fly often? And are you on the rag? How many American Airlines miles do you have? And are you currently bleeding? Those would be considered by most people to be intrusive questions.
By the way, on the rag it's one of my it's a great saying.
It's as reductive as you can get.
Is it a great saying?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Well, I think,
Are we sure on this?
Listen, when Lincoln first mentioned it,
I don't think so.
I don't think I'm heading back to the White House. The missus is on the rag. Better to stay out here in the Civil War. I'm safer.
On the rag.
By the way, Bill Belichick met his very young girlfriend on a flight.
On a plane.
Get out.
How did she end up in first class?
She gave him the Heimlich. I was choking on a piece of steak.
She was probably hunting, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
She knew. I won't guarantee it, but
Yeah,
I
she
wouldn't
knew
be.
he was gonna be-
She knew Belichick was
Yeah.
absolutely.
Worked. Well, maybe they met in Palm Beach, Florida, because that is considered the most romantic airport for making connection and finding love. Palm Beach International Airport.
Oh, what's next?
Number 2 is Orlando. All the top ones are in Florida. Number 3 is Fort Lauderdale. Number 4 is Tampa International.
Interesting. So why? I'm trying to think. Does that rely simply on the good weather? Does it rely on the actual layout of the airport that's conducive to that?
Less clothing because it's warmer,
right?
probably. I don't know. Helps. Number 5 is O'Hare in Chicago.
Completely different.
Chicago!
Number 6 is Savannah Hilton Head International. Number 7 is Southwest Florida, which is in Fort Myers.
I think Dallas-Fort Worth has a lot of areas that would be conducive to. It's a sprawling airport.
It's a great airport. Yeah,
where the seating is such that you could be a lot of bars and a lot of little nooks and things like that to make it a fun place to hang out.
Number 8 is Hartsfield-Jackson in Atlanta. Number 9, and this was the surprising one on the list to me, Atlantic City International Airport.
Why have we've been hearing about that?
Well,
was it you that brought up the fact about flying out of Atlantic City, Kathy?
Yes, I flew out once, and it was
Did
like.
you fall in love?
Well, no, it was at the time it was terrible, but they have since redone it, so maybe that has something to do with it because it's I think a fairly new airport.
I was looking into some possibilities of flying this summer, just trying to figure out summer vacation plans and whatever. And Kathy, when I was Googling flights or whatever, every time I would put in Philadelphia, I would also get Harrisburg and Atlantic City. And I'm thinking about it because there are direct flights to places that I'm considering going, and it's a little bit more affordable going out of AC.
It is. It's just annoying because you have to be careful when you fly in because then you do have a bit of a drive and think about it. If you're coming at any time where there's going to be traffic, you're driving right through it. So to me, it's not worth it.
And then there's number 10 on this list is Seattle-Tacoma in Seattle, Washington.
Excuse me.
Airport.
Do you have any tampons? What? I make figures with them.
Yeah.
Action figures.
Try that out sometime. See how that works. Get back to us.
Give it a shot.
Ask to see an airport.
Don't blame us.
But don't
when you get punched.
But don't ask if they're on the rack.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's offensive.
We were kidding about that part of it. The other part, go for it.
It's a great icebreaker.
All right. That's
what do you do to manage menstrual flow?
I use the cup.
The cup.
Yes.
Does it have a handle on it? I don't know how those things. Is it more like a mug?
I use the mug.
I'm an old style gal. I use a Stein. I'm from Germany. It's very decorative.
All right. I use the goblet. All right, we're wrapping up the stream of consciousness, Ner. Next time we'll do And Another Thing if we can come up with the proper music and everything for it. Yeah.
And another thing.
All right, let's take a break and come back in a moment. The Home and Garden Show is coming to town this weekend. Our buddy Jeff Devlin is heavily involved in that. We will talk to him in just a little bit when we return. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
So this is a little bit offbeat, but the Tower of London, we visited that when we went to England a couple of years ago. The Tower of London's Queen Raven is missing and feared dead, according to the staff at the fortress. So apparently they keep this flock of ravens there. And I remember being there and they're huge. They're these big black birds. I remember seeing them.
Yeah.
I just thought they were... That's why they just kind of, flew in and hung out. But apparently they have a...
They cultivate them.
Yeah, they I was going to say they grow them there.
They grow them there.
But they...
Do you have any of those crow seeds?
The tower usually has 6 ravens at any time, and according to legend, if they ever leave, then both the fortress and the kingdom will fall.
Yes.
There are currently 7
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ah!
There are 7 in residence. A spokesman said Marlena's continued absence indicates to us that she may have sadly passed away. So that's Marlena. She is the queen.
She remains of great distress for us as Marlena's gone missing. As you know, the legend, the kingdom will fall if we do not have 7 crows present at all times. So it is now that I must inform you that Max birds. Thank you.
So disgusting.
We need a different spokesperson.
Who hired him?
Yeah, time to retire, bro.
It's always some guy with big mutton chops.
Can we get a young guy?
I'm 27. Taking care of these birds will age you.
He added, Merlina was our undisputed ruler of the roost, queen of the Tower Ravens. She will be greatly missed by her fellow ravens, the Raven Master, and all of us here in the Tower community.
But if you know Merlina, you know that's so Raven.
I believe the people that work at the Tower, I think they volunteer. I think they, I want to say I remember reading that. It was great. I really enjoyed going
I'm a complete
there.
Anglophile when it comes to this stuff. The royal family, the Tower, even watching The Crown is so much fun. Listen, some people don't get it. I love it.
It's a dated concept, but it's pretty cool.
There's nothing wrong with that, and embracing that and keeping that going.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're touristy spots in London that you'd think maybe are a little cheesy or whatever. This was not. I really enjoyed that tour, and I'd go back. And the Crown Jewels are there. It was really cool.
By the way, if you do want to see the Crown Jewels, my only one-time visit there, my recommendation we got as soon as it opened, and it was the first place we went, and there was nobody there. And apparently the line...
You were putting on the crown.
We looked at out in front of where the Crown Jewels are, is one of those back and forth switchback wait line things, and you could just by walking through that, we're like, okay, this could take forever on a busy day, but we got right in. It was very impressive. So I thought that was pretty cool. The Raven Master Christopher Scaife said that he would be taking some time to mourn Merlina. Tower staff added that they had no immediate plans to replace her. And Charles is believed to have been the first monarch to officially decree that the birds must be kept at the Tower at all times. So one of them's gone. And apparently when numbers fell to just a single Raven Guard, Winston Churchill had ordered that the flock, which is known as an unkindness, that's a flock of ravens.
An unkindness.
Yes, was increased to at least 6.
We want to increase the flock.
Yes, in 2018, the Tower launched...
Get the flock out of here.
A raven breeding program.
Quoting Lethal Weapon 2.
After his story.
Of course. Yes. What did the shepherd say to the other shepherd?
Winston Churchill was a visionary.
Was it? Okay. I was in the first one, Winston. I'm sorry. I will have to throw that at you. But anyhow, it was becoming increasingly difficult to source the birds. So, all right. And that's all I have time for, I guess, in my thing that I just did. What was it? The junk drawer.
Whatever that was.
And that wraps up tonight's thing that I just said. I'm Tom Brokaw.
It's called the news.
We were talking about checking our mental health earlier.
Yes.
If you've been feeling stressed out, you may want to scream, and you should, as it could help you feel better.
So we had the discussion about primal scream therapy and the song Shout by Tears for Fears. And the jury's still out as to whether or not that was actually a song about primal scream therapy, but it used to be all the rage for a while.
Yes. Avi Klein, a psychotherapist, says, I think every emotion...
You should do it!
we feel... A little reverb on that, please, when if you're going to...
You should do it! It's so therapeutic!
He says, I think every emotion that we feel has a kind of correlating action that goes along with it. It feels really good or even healthy to discharge that emotion. John Norcross is a professor of psychology at the University of Scranton and says that no matter how you vent your feelings out,
Mother, I have a strange discharge.
It's a good way to relieve tension. Can you hit that again, please?
Mother, I have a strange discharge.
Okay. Klein notes that simply screaming won't face your issues.
We can't play the whole one. Can we? I don't know if times have changed.
And you'll still have to face whatever it is that's bothering you and work through it even after taking the edge off.
Dad, can I talk to you for a minute?
Jesus.
I have a strange discharge.
I'm just clipping the...
Well, yeah, the rest of it tells where the discharge came
from. Yeah.
And that's when Bill gets a little nervous.
It's actually worse this way.
Is it?
I think, but by his reckoning, it would probably be better.
Well, maybe he got let out of the Army and it was strange, and he got a strange discharge, and he wasn't...
Dad, can I talk to you for a minute? I have a strange discharge.
I'm sorry, I was trying to read a book here, but yeah, please tell me about your drippy weenie.
Yes.
Can I finish my steak first?
Dad, can I talk to you for a minute? I have a strange discharge.
Wait. I nailed it so much better. I'll have to edit that down.
I want to hear discharge.
All right.
Dad, can I talk to you for a minute? I have a strange discharge.
There we go. Nailed it.
Nailed it.
And then,
Mother, I have a strange discharge.
What would a normal one be? What would a non-strange discharge be? You know?
yeah. I have froyo coming out my ass. That's pretty strange, but probably more acceptable.
Casey, there was something you wanted to show us?
Well, I have a couple of things. I have another audio thing, something I had told you about off the air, and then I got this thing that I learned about yesterday. So I want everybody to take your iPhones out real quick and pull up an iTunes.
Now take your tops off.
Pull up an iTunes?
Pull up your iTunes. Pick out any song on your iTunes. I don't care which song it is.
I haven't used iTunes.
I had to delete my iTunes.
No.
Really? Why?
Storage concerns on my phone. I moved it on. Well, we don't need to hear about it on there.
Gotcha.
It's a porn thing.
Yeah, way too much porn on my phone.
Pull up anything you're saying?
Anything, and also take your headphones off real quick. Well, just in a second, you're gonna have to take your headphones off.
Okay. Does it matter what song I choose?
No, it does not matter.
Song?
Whatever song you want to hear.
Well, now I got to go through and find a song I want to hear.
Took the first one that came up.
All right, I got one.
All right, you got one. All right, so take your headphones off.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, now press play on your iTunes and stick the speaker part of your iPhone in your mouth like this.
Okay.
And close your lips over it.
What the hell is going on?
Seriously.
And we're all doing this at the same
All
time?
do it at the same time. Everybody press play. All right, all the way. No. All right, now cover your ears, both your ears.
I refuse to do this.
Well, you can't hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like bone phones, earphones.
Kathy, why are you not doing it?
It won't fit in my mouth.
Yes, it will. Oh my God, yes, it will.
Say that again, real. Say that again.
Okay, so I see what you're saying. You can hear it a little bit more. I could hear it even without putting my hands over my ears.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So what is if you're driving? Is there a way to listen to it without having the phone in your mouth?
Right. It's like bone induction. Yeah, that's what it's called. Bone induction speakers.
We have a couple of the earphones my wife uses when she swims.
Yeah. Well, how much did those cost? This is for free,
You just
bro.
stick her phone in her mouth and look like an imbecile. You know what? You know how you have that keep warm function on your oven?
Yeah.
Try putting the dinner rolls in your ass.
Kathy, why did you not do it?
As this was all going on, I just hear, because we had to take our headphones off, I just hear Steve go, I refuse to do this.
Yeah.
Thanks for playing along, bro.
Well, I couldn't get my Asia song to play, which would have been so cool.
I did do it, Casey.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Put it in your mouth?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't see it.
I did.
He didn't
Preston.
do it.
All right, here's the thing.
I just did it.
Try this when you get home, Kathy.
Okay.
Draw a nice bath. Get in it.
Yeah.
Take your electric hair dryer. Dip it in the water. You'll be able to hear Prince.
While it's plugged in.
The speakers have gotten much better on these phones. My son was listening to, he was watching a YouTube video or something like that, and he was in the other room, and I was almost like, turn that damn music down.
I'm trying to listen to my story on my Stephen King story.
But it's gotten, you remember the old phones, like if you, for some reason, didn't have a Bluetooth speaker or something to hook it into, and you tried valiantly, exactly, to listen to something. It was terrible. It's gotten much better. They're definitely a lot louder.
I'm listening to Pearl Jam. Listen.
It won't fit in my mouth.
Yes, it will. Oh my God, yes, it will.
It won't fit in my mouth.
Presley Gerber, the son of supermodel Cindy Crawford, took to Instagram Live in order to clear up his reasons for getting a tattoo on his cheek.
Hey, guys. I want to let you know I wrote a word on my face.
Which he has received backlash for. And I've not seen it. I've just read this story. That's it. And the only thing I have is a quote from him that says, if I thought it was going to ruin my face, I wouldn't have done it.
Really?
Well, that's how stupid he is. He what is the word that it's one word, and it's
what, the word on his face?
Yeah, do you
misunderstood.
Misunderstood, right. So it's under his eye, high up on his cheek. It's a thin line, but it's still stupid. He's a male model, as is his sister, Kaya Gerber. And I don't know why you would do that.
You're a model.
Yeah.
And you've just
ruined your career.
Ruined exactly your product. Oh my God.
Now he has tattoos.
He's got a lot of tattoos.
He has no tattoos on his face.
He's got some on his neck.
Yeah.
All over his hands.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Okay.
Did you see Amber Rose? Amber Rose has a tattoo along the top part of her, highest part of her forehead.
Her hairline?
Yeah. So
Okay.
her head's always shaved, and it's sort of calligraphy. It looks lovely. But what are you going to do with that? I couldn't even read what it said, but it's big.
Okay.
I'm sort of coming around on face tattoos.
You gonna get one?
Though. I wouldn't want any of my children to. Listen, if you're, I met these guys at the tattoo convention, right?
They were the coolest guys. They were smoking cigarettes.
They were smoking cigarettes,
and they were wearing leather.
I was like, wow, man, can you blow smoke rings? One guy, and they listen to the show. Their guy's name is Dave.
Yeah.
He's got a he's got a D that's kind of like tattooed into his beard line.
For Dave?
For Dave. And
I could see why you're coming around.
listen, he and his buddy, they both lay concrete. They're both just big.
They both
they are like concrete. It's not that they actually like concrete.
I said lay.
They both
They're
like
fans of concrete,
I thought he
and
did.
various gravel.
What did he say?
Lay concrete.
I thought you said like.
I did
thought
too.
they both
I was
like
wondering-
concrete.
I'm a huge fan of cement.
Big fans of concrete.
They're big fans
Just
of
love it. No, no.
metamorphic and sedimentary and So okay, so
What does that have to do with it anyway?
Because listen, they lay concrete for a living. What the hell does it matter if they, they face tattoos or whatever? They're not your lawyer, They're not a judge on the bench or where, somebody that you would not want to have face tattoos.
If someone wants to do it, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
In this case, we're questioning a male model whose livelihood depends on his looks getting a word tattooed on his face that will always have to be attended to whenever he does something.
Sure, but he already has tattoos on his neck as well. I mean, so clearly it's not that big of a deal.
Here's an argument for you for why it's a bad idea, okay?
Yeah.
So in human interaction, and when you start to meet someone for the first time, whatever the scenario may be, you engage in eye contact and facial reading of emotions and things like that.
Yeah.
If you have stuff written or placed on your face, it's a distraction from that. And
Okay.
I think it's a lack of being able to communicate effectively.
But what about like a giant mole on somebody's face? You gonna tell them to get that removed because it's distracting?
If possible, yes.
Yes.
Very distracting when we talk to you.
Yes.
Can you get that removed?
I have a Facebook page.
And take your friend with the face.
Thanks, guest Steve. Before we welcome our guests, you wanted to mention something?
Yeah, it's coming up this Saturday. It is the 14th annual Love Potions Happy Hour. It is from 5:30 to 9:30 at one of your old haunts, Preston. Broken Goblet Brewing in Ben Salem.
Goblet.
Yes, what was Saint played there.
Yes.
I am your MC. Over 75 raffle baskets, 50-50 drink specials, free photo booth, a ton of stuff. And it all benefits Philadoptibles, and they do great work for animals all throughout the tri-state area. You know how fantastic they are. They also have that Hunks and Hounds calendar, and I will be there serving as a contrast to the Hunks to make you appreciate them more. But a lot of the Hunks will be there, and of course, wouldn't want to see the Hunks. It's a wonderful event. Again, it's the one event that Philadoptibles really kind of puts their hand out and says, could you help us out? Because they do such great work. Again, that's this Saturday at Broken Goblet Brewing in Ben Salem, 5:30 to 9:30. $10 gets you in the door. Great beer, great food, a great time, and those raffles are world class. So we'd love to see you there this Saturday evening.
Nice. By the way, this weekend, something going on not only Saturday, but Friday through Sunday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the Philadelphia Expo or at the Expo Center in Oaks. You will find the Philadelphia Home and Garden Show. And our next guest, who is back in our studio once again, ladies and gentlemen, our friend Mr. Jeff Devlin is here with us.
Oh my God, say my name again. That sounds so good.
Devlin.
Kathy, can you say my name?
Jeff Devlin.
Yes.
Oh my God.
You guys have no idea. I've listened to forever, but for me, to hear your voice on the radio station that you've listened to forever is just the coolest thing ever. I even brought my daughter to make sure it was real today.
You are a mega listener. We were talking over to my house recently, helping us. We're redoing our kitchen. In fact, you did the kitchen in the Manioc house. But yes, you know all the ins and outs of the show, and we appreciate it. Hell, you even let us almost make you an amputee at one point during the camp out.
You can see the finger.
Is it still there?
It's still like the as I'm. First of all, I felt like such an idiot. But the fact that my nail will never grow back, it always has that crease.
Oh my God.
And I will. Every time I hear the word camp out, I'm like, yeah, it's the day I almost lost my finger. That was good.
Well, you're doing it for a good cause. You built a table for someone.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Jeff, I wanted to ask you about this weekend. So you're going to be doing a bunch of different things. You've got some demos and stuff like that. But one of the things I was curious about, it says here, Jeff will be presenting on how to hire a contractor. That's on Saturday and Sunday. So that's we've hired a contractor a couple of times. That's a weird little dance you have to do.
It is. But the truth is that most homeowners don't do the homework that they need to do before they hire a contractor.
Right.
It's like they're so excited to just have the work done that they look the other way. It's like dating, but kind of dating the wrong person.
You're you're helping us with this very thing with our process with the kitchen. Because,
it's daunting.
And you're right. Doing your due diligence will pay off because there's two different parties that don't quite know how to communicate.
And it's also, it's not just the work. I mean, a good contractor should always be able to complete the work for you. They should be able to be a good carpenter, be a good electrician, be a good plumber. However, a lot of times it's fit, it's personality. We all know that we latch on to people that are, they fit us, so to speak. So if it's the right personality that fits you, that's the one, within reason, but many folks won't even ask for referrals. I just got asked for my first referral in 35 years yesterday.
Really?
And you would
35 years.
That's a standard, right?
It's a standard thing.
Right.
And the reason why I say, and this is part of I call it a lecture, but it's a presentation, but it's part of that process where you have to find out, and it's not asking like, how was your remodel? Do you like your kitchen? Do you like your bath? It's like, was the contractor on time? Was there any overages? Is there anything that you would change? What would it be? Like, did they respect your house? Did they step on your dog? Did they, really think about the things that when people come into your house, we want our shoes, we want you to take your shoes off, or what does dust control look like? Like, we all complain about it, but to our contractor did this, but it was never brought up to them.
It's very sage advice. Something else that you mentioned, and I, so again, in this process of doing our kitchen, every one of the contractors that we talked to all recommended that we talk to multiple contractors.
Yes.
So that, and if one doesn't suggest that, they're not going to be worth a damn, are they?
No.
They want you to find, as you said, find the right fit. And it's not offensive to them for you to do it because they as well are looking for someone who will benefit, for the most part, a good contractor.
Correct.
That they can work with. Correct?
Yes.
We had a guy one time we were getting some work done. This is not a horror story, but it was just like, what? So we wanted to get a deck and a patio built, one of these two things made. And the guy showed up and we're talking to him about what it was. He's like, I think you'd be better off with just a patio. And we're like, no, we've decided we want this. We want a deck and a patio. He's like, well, I mainly do patios. I think it'd be good with just, no, this is what we want. He's like, okay, well, I'll mock up some stuff. I'll draw some things out and I'll come back. And like a few days later, he comes back. And the only thing he presented to us was just a patio. And we're like, no, we told you we wanted a deck and a patio. And then he started to get mad at us because he's like,
why keep having that conversation then?
I did all this work already.
Yeah.
And we're like, but we told you.
Well, you're traumatized by having broken glass as a backsplash.
Yeah.
I remember those.
From Trading Spaces, yeah.
Jeff was there when we were on Trading Spaces. Jeff was working for the production crew, and so he saw it firsthand.
Yeah, I mean, but the truth be told, and this is something that there's a lot of disrespect going both ways with contractors and homeowners. One of the things that we do as a company, it's at Schoolhouse Woodworking, is that we charge for estimates. And the reason why we do that is because when you go to someone's house, if they're not respecting your time, then they're not listening, they're not paying attention.
Right.
And then you'll get follow-up questions. As soon as you charge for it, people are so much ready. Oh, here's my list of questions. These are the things. And no, mind you, at the end of that, you can take all of the information that was spouted out. A lot of the times contractors hold their ideas really close to them and hope they get the job. But the truth is that how do you know how much it's going to cost unless the design is done first?
That's the process
There's
we're in
no
right now.
such thing as an estimate.
Yeah.
It's just that it's an estimate that you'll never even get close to. So at that point, you're dealing with somebody in the construction world, they're sales.
Yeah.
So their job is to sell, and that's not the person that's coming to your house. So they see it and they're like, well, hell, that's going to cost this amount of dollars.
I think there's an old adage in customer service that if you do a great job and you totally satisfy everything that the customer wants, the customer might tell 1 or 2 people. If you do a terrible job, they're definitely going to tell 9 or 10, right? And I think that that's doubly true for contractors. It's become a running joke in my family, but they had their kitchen redone in 1989, and to this day, they still talk about how much they loathe that contractor. It was just a terrible, awful experience. Wow. And in subsequent years, other work was done on their house and on my house, and great jobs were done. We don't share those stories, but man, do we share the stories of the crap jobs.
Correct. I'm wrong, Nick, but your parents had actually just asked for a patio and they redid the kitchen.
Man, they were listening.
Yeah. It was the angriest I've ever seen my dad in my life. But, to that point, Jeff, like, it doesn't take much, and asking the right questions is such a great way to get started.
But it's time that homeowners are not willing to do. I mean, unless you ask for money, and I know this sounds forced, but unless you ask them for something that you invest in us, then we'll invest in you. That's when it kind of changes a little bit, and then they become focused, and then they do the work. Because I can't tell you how many times I get a phone call and saying, hey, we want to redo our kitchen. Great. What do you, like, how do you cook? What do you do? Like, whatever you think was great. I'm like,
yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I use a microwave 90% of the time, and my diet consists of Twizzlers and donuts and coffee.
Right.
So I'm not a cook, so I'm not the guy to ask. So for me, I can design a kitchen for you, but I need to know these things. So you have to sit in your kitchen. You have to sit in your bathroom. Maybe not bathroom.
You sit there usually.
You can contemplate.
When you're making number 2.
Right. But like you have to be prepared to tell the contractor a little bit of what you want and gathering those ideas and putting them on paper. Not a conversation that you have with yourself, but you have with your spouse or your loved one, whoever's doing it with you. So that way it's concrete. This is the information we want. You're going to get a better estimate. You're going to get a better experience, and you're going to get a great remodel.
This is essential sage advice. We have Lauren Pierno, who is, we've known for years. She's the head of everything. She's our intermediary. So she's the one, to your point.
She translates for you.
It translates. In the kitchen, what do you do? What do you use it for? Of your pots and pans, how do you, what do you think, how much of these do you use? What appliances do you really use? And that really holds a lot of sway, but we don't think that way. And so you're dealing with a contractor, somebody come in and go, I don't know what you want, so here, we're going to throw the works at you.
Or we're just going to go to Home Depot and pick up cabinets off the shelf and just throw them in, and that will suffice if you don't really care. But then people will complain that they didn't get the kitchen of their dreams, yet they didn't communicate. So my presentation is about communicating what you want, and also being smart with your selections, not jumping into bed with the first person, getting the referrals, meeting with them, paying them.
Right.
You want a contractor to pay attention to you, say, hey, can I pay you for your time? I know most people will jump out of their cars, crash their cars right now if they're driving and listen to this, but imagine when you put your contractor and you value their time, they will do more. They will 100% do more.
Let's take this up to the bedroom. Let's see. No, but like anybody who's doing designs for us, I want to make sure they get paid, even if we don't use them. If they're going to take the time.
Yeah.
But you're right. That's the way things get serious about the kind of work you're going to get, because if it's left unspoken, that's going to lead to you at the point of like completion. Like I asked for a deck. And what the hell happened here?
And anything you're doing, anything substantial, is going to cost money. Whether it is a powder room or a kitchen or whatever,
a dungeon.
I mean, that's going to cost because you're also paying for discretion.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
But like as a homeowner, there's this thing called Google, right?
Yeah.
You could Google it. Damn it. We tell our kids all the time, like, hey, you want to figure this out? Google it. You could find out how much an hourly rate is for plumbers in this area. What is an hourly rate for a plumber? How long will it take to put in a toilet? How much is the average kitchen 10 by 10? You can Google it and you can get all that information out.